Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and appreciate you guys tuning in for today's video. Guys, today we're going to be talking about fishing a buzzbait in the late fall technique for buzzbait. And specifically what I want to get in today is like, there's a point in the fall time of the year where the water starts to get cold enough to where most people put away their topwater baits. It's like, a lot of people think that like when that water temperature gets say under 60 degrees or something, that they just don't bite a topwater very good. So the late fall buzzbait technique that I want to talk about has to do when that water reaches that point where most people think it's too cold to fish a topwater. And this is the time you can catch some sacks of bass doing that. So I'm going to sort of explain to you guys how I like to do it and the type of water I like to fish it in today's episode. Also, guys, thank you very much for everybody that's taken time to hit that subscribe button here to the Fishing Teacher. Really appreciate that. Also, a couple of housekeeping tips, guys. If you're interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, just go to my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler. Just shoot me a private message there for details. And also, guys, in preparation for this coming winter season, we do have my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns for the winter time of the year up on the fishthemoment.com website now. These are maps I built for fishthemoment.com that are great resources to get you some good fishing places on your favorite lakes. So all that stuff will be linked in the description. I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, some of the, well, not some, it's like probably every big giant bass, giant bag of buzzbait fish I've ever caught in my entire life, which I'm talking about 20-pound class sacks of buzzbait fish, they've all come in the late fall where most people are not fishing a buzzbait. The best buzzbait week I have ever had in my life was a Bassmaster tournament up at Lake of the Ozarks, and I caught two back-to-back 20-pound bags on a buzzbait in November while it was snowing. It was that cold. So that is sort of what I want to get into in today's video, and the specific buzzbait and the color, because all that's critical. Now, first of all, let's talk about the buzzbait and the color. This is the color, guys, chartreuse. There's something about it. A lot of people like to use a black buzzbait or a shad pattern, but in the late fall, it's just one of the mysteries of fishing. They love a chartreuse buzzbait. This is the Megabass Jamaican Boa. Awesome buzzbait, guys. They also have a Jamaican Boa Junior. I'll link this buzzbait in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you want to pick one up after the video. But you got to have two things on your buzzbait. Big buzzbait, large profile like this one with a big blade in it. And this is critical for what I'm going to tell you later why the big blade is in correlation with the chartreuse skirt. That's everything. It's like I can't reiterate how important that is. And another thing about this, before I get into the area, I want to talk about how to fish it in the late fall. Now, we're talking when the water temperatures are in the 50s here. This is the technique, is when that water temperature is between, say, a minimum of 52 degrees and a very maximum of 60 degrees. Ideally, for this technique, I want water temperatures as close to the mid-50s as I can, number one. Number two with that is you've got to have low light, nasty days for this to work. This does not work on a partly cloudy or a bright day. You got to have either some type of heavy overcast, rain, or snow. And the best situation for it is when, let's say, for example, you know how it gets in November sometimes, where you get that first bad cold front of the year, where temperatures have been like seasonal and normal and it's been fairly nice out. Then you get this big honking front comes through and the water temperatures may still be warm. Let's say the water temperatures are in the upper 50s, but you get this front that comes through that drops the water temperatures. It starts snowing. Those fish move shallow. When that rain or that snow or that heavy overcast comes in, when that water temperature's in the 50s, specifically in the month of November and December, those big fish will move shallower than most people will ever. You'd never guess how shallow they get. They get super shallow. So what you want to do is to take the big buzzer, like the Jamaican Boa, put it on the longest rod you got. I use a flipping stick for it. I use a flipping stick with 25-pound test Seaguar line. And the reason you want a flipping stick and heavy line is this allows you to fish the buzzbait as slow as you can possibly fish it. That is the key. The retrieve on this thing is a slow, super slow, steady retrieve just fast enough where these blades are above the water. It's like you're going blah, 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 blah. And the blade, it's going so slow that sometimes you go under the water and then you bring it up and it's just a soft, it's a very, very, it's not like the water, it's just so soft because you're barely reeling it and keeping it above the water. And you can reel it slow like that because when you're throwing your flipping stick, 7.5 foot rod, what I do is I cast it out there, I keep my rod tip at about 11 or 12 o'clock, and my entire line's out of the water. My rod is so high that my line is not in the water at all. My line is going straight to the buzzbait that is above the water, and by keeping that rod tip super high and reeling it slow, you can snake it. You can just throw it, you can retrieve it as a snail's pace. If you throw it out there and try to reel your rod tip, like pointing at the bait or something, you can't reel it slow enough. It'll go underwater. But when you have that line 7.5 foot above there, sometimes I'll even hold it up above like this and I'll start reeling it to keep it as absolute slow as I can. Okay, the next thing, this technique is all about fishing it on some type of a steeper rocky bank. And these fish are shallow when you get there, because the reason you want a steep rocky bank is because that allows those fish to move up and down out of that deeper water into that shallow water. So you want to fish a rocky bank that has like at least a 45-degree angle slope to it. 45, 60 degree, even a bluff bank can be good. When you have those conditions, that cooler water and those low light conditions, those fish will get in this deep of water, even if it's cold. So one of the biggest keys on this thing this time of year is you have to throw this thing to where it almost hits the bank or hits the bank. But ideally, I want to hit the rock with it and drag it off into the water off the rock, because most of the time those big ones are that far off the bank. If you go down the bank and you throw this thing and your bait lands that far from the bank, you're never going to get a bite. They get right up on the bank. So try to throw it right on the bank or hit the bank. Throw it up on the bank and drag it off into the water if you can. That's the way they bite it. And when they bite it, a lot of times you can't even tell it's a bite. It's just like all of a sudden your buzzbait just goes under the water. It's not like like that. You never get a vicious strike. It's they go just like that and bring it down. And I remember that tournament that I was telling you about at Lake of the Ozarks where I caught the 2 20-pound bags on the buzzbait. I found those fish in practice and I had the hook cut off the buzzbait, and I was getting strikes on the buzzbait. I'd throw it out there like that. Of course, the neighbors come out with their leaf blowers as soon as I start the video. But I was getting strikes on that buzzbait in practice with no hook on it. But I kept saying, it's like all of a sudden I'd be reeling it, then it'd just go under like that. And I said, that's got to be like a 10-inch bass. That's like, that's got to be dinks. And I wasn't that excited going into the tournament because I'm saying, yeah, I'm getting bit on a buzzbait, but they're just little ones that are coming down. Those were big ones the whole time. I was getting 4 and 5 pounders biting it. And I didn't even know it because they just sucked it into the water like that. But anyway, guys, that's what you need to know. Sorry about the freaking leaf blowers out there. It's either a train or a helicopter or a leaf blower around here. But give it a try, guys. Link in the description. Megabass Jamaican Boa. Get you the chartreuse color. If they don't have chartreuse, get you a chartreuse skirt and put it on there. I don't use any type of plastic trailer. I just use the skirt. I don't like a buzz toad. I like the actual skirt. It seems to work better. It's going to get you some big fish, man. Hope it works. See y'all.